Hey guys, welcome back to Fishing It Up. In this two-part video, I will show you how to take apart and clean and then lubricate and reassemble your baitcaster. There we go. Look at that. Alright, I'm going to go over the reel that we're going to be tearing down today. It is a Lews KVD reel. It actually says Speed Spool LFS on it. A few things that we need that'll be real handy are Q-tips, a paper towel, microfiber cloth, a sheet of notebook paper is really handy. You can come in and lay your parts out on this in the order that you took them out so that you don't forget where they go. So just write it out, the numbers that it came out of, or you can name the parts or whatever helps you. Just use the piece of notebook paper to your advantage. Now, the next thing is I use Shimano oil and Shimano grease. Doesn't matter which brand of reel it is, I use it on all of them. Then I got an assortment of smaller screwdrivers, Phillips and a straight one. And then I have a 10mm wrench here to take the handle off. So let's get started. First things first, I'm going to remove the side plate and then the spool itself. So to get that out of the way on here, you have this little rod you pull. These are so cumbersome. I much prefer the way the Shimano's come apart, but that comes off that way. Just lay that out of the way, and then we can slide the spool right out the side there, lay that out. Now we're going to come over here and we're going to take the retainer off that's on this nut here and then remove the handle. To do that, we're going to get probably this larger screwdriver that I have here. We'll take this off. Remove the retainer here, lay that out. Then we'll get the 10mm wrench. And this is coming off clockwise. It's got that broke loose. Lay that out here. Take the handle off. We know what order it goes in. We'll lay it up here with the larger things. Now, it looks like we have a couple washers here. Lay those in the order it came off. You can start to see I got some dirt, sand or something in there already. Go ahead and just knock that out of the way. Then we're going to screw off our drag handle here. So that's screwed off there, clockwise as well. Notice I'm still kind of putting the parts in order. Now we're going to take, there's a couple washers here. You can see, I'm just going to leave all that together and lay that down. Anything I lay down here, I try to lay it in the order that it come off. That way I can just pick it back up and slide it right back on here. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to take the smaller screwdriver. Phillips may work better for this, but we're going to go through here and we're going to remove all of these Phillips screws. There's 3 on this side and there's 1 on this side, and that should allow us to take the side plate off. But before I do that, I'm going to loosen the drag just a little bit. Now, if the back screw happened to be a different thread pattern or a different length, now would be a good time to kind of circle these screws and put them in a different area. Which, if you notice, that screw is actually longer than that one. it went in the back here. So if that's something you want to note so you don't forget, I highly suggest writing it out on your notebook paper. See, that one's a different thread pattern. So I'll lay this out. And this one we can just put back by it. And this one's by the button. Just so we kind of remember where they were at, and it'll give us a good starting point when we go back to putting it together. All right, there's a couple things I'm just gonna remove here real quick. Go ahead and get this spool, the cast control knob, out of the way. And then there's a bushing here. I'm gonna pull it out of the way. Go ahead and set it over here. And then we're gonna just slide the cover off. Notice the whole time I'm keeping this in my hand to where if I was to turn it this way, everything would fall out. So I'm trying to keep it to where everything will stay in there for now anyway. I'm also gonna lay the cover up here out of the way because obviously we know where that's gonna go. Now, I'm just gonna inspect this and look for dirt, sand, just like what fell off earlier. And we're gonna clean any bit of that up. Now, you can use mineral spirits if you like to clean this, or you can just wipe it with a Q-tip to get the majority of it up. This reel here is pretty clean, but rule of thumb is anything that moves fast, you want to use your oil on, and anything that moves slow, you want to use the gear grease on. So that's going to be, your gears are going to be your slow moving pieces that you'll put just a fine amount of grease on there. So if you put a large amount, it will slow the reel down. So you just want enough just to lubricate things. Your bearings, if you do decide to oil those, 1 drop. If you would like to clean them completely out, you would soak them in mineral spirits and then let them dry, spin them out on a Q-tip till they were completely free of mineral spirits, and then you would put 1 drop of oil back in them. It will make a world of difference if you do that. We're going to go ahead and tear this apart here, take the springs out, lay them down. And if you do forget where some of this goes, you can get your manual out. But once you tear apart one bait caster, they're all similar. So it does make things a little bit easier if you've done this before. But this is the whole point in the video. Next thing is you have some washers here. You can leave this, your drag washers, you can leave this together, you can take it apart and inspect it. But just remember, there is a certain order to all this. Right here is a small, fine one. So if you want to pull that off in one package, go ahead. Be gentle so it doesn't fall on the floor. You can see there's some more here. I'll lay this down. All right, so I'll go ahead and clean some of this up to see exactly how bad it is. It's a little dirty in there. Now, there is either a bushing or a bearing underneath the shaft here at the bottom, at the base of it. So to get to it, you would remove these 2 screws here and then remove this. Now, on some of the Shimano's, like the SLX, it's a bushing that's in there instead of a bearing. On this one, I'm not 100% sure if they've used a bushing or a bearing, but if you would like, you can go ahead and tear that down farther and find out for sure what is in there, and then apply either grease if it's a bushing or oil if it is a bearing. So we got that wiped down. Go ahead and get rid of those. I'm going to flip this over and remove that drag washer. I'll go ahead and get my microfiber towel here and wipe this off real good. Now, if you want to do some research on whether or not you should put the grease on your drag washers. That's up to you. You can do that while you're in here. I've seen some reports say that it increases the amount of drag, but a lot of the stuff I read was during saltwater applications. But it's totally up to you what you decide. You can try it, and then if you don't like it, you can come back and clean the drag washers off and put it all back together and go again. But me, on this one, I'm just going to clean everything up, grease it, and put it back together, and leave the drag washers alone, because I have not had any issues out of it. Now, if it was giving me issues, then I may consider cleaning all the drag and possibly greasing it. I've got those cleaned off. But just kind of give you a peek inside here. You have this drag washer that was on top, and then there's a stack of them in here. You had the metal one, then another drag washer. I'm not sure if these are felt or graphite or exactly what they are, but that's how they're stacked in there. They're all dry. I got this apart. I'll go ahead and lay that face down. Grab my microfiber towel again. Just kind of wipe that out just while we are doing it. Put it back together. There's tabs here that line up. Put this one back on top. And that one, wipe it off as well. Whoop. That one like that. And then we had the small one here, which I think that's like number 49 if you look on the schematic for this reel. It's not required, but it is used in some cases. Mine actually came with it, so it's going to go back in there. I'm going to lay this down. If you've enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing. But as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Fishing It Up.